Right now on Movie Review Talk, Ewan McGregor is Christopher Robin, and 1 week after Mission Impossible Fallout, we have The Spy Who Dumped Me. Hey, movie fans, welcome to Movie Review Talk for Collider. I'm your host, Scott Movie Mantz. Every week here on Collider Movie Review Talk, we review the new movies and we pick a Blu-ray or a streaming movie that you might have missed but is out now. Every week I am joined by two guest critics, and the beauty of this is no spoilers allowed, so you can watch and listen to your heart's content. This week, joining me, I'm very, very excited, two great esteemed critics. Please welcome Nestor Bentancor. He is the LA correspondent for Hola Cinema and On Cinema. Welcome, very excited for you to be here.
Thank you, Scott. I love Collider Video. I love you, so can't be happier than this.
I'm feeling the love. I am feeling the love. Also joining me is Jana Nagase. Yeah. She is a Brazilian reporter and film critic for Gazeta News. Did I get that right?
Yes, Gazeta Brazilian News.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. We're going to have a lot of fun today talking about the movies, even if the movies we're talking about aren't the greatest. Did I say that already? Because we're going to get right to it. The first movie is The Spy Who Dumped Me, directed by Susanna Fogel. The cast is Mila Kunis, Kate McKinnon, Justin Theroux. Mila Kunis discovers that her ex-boyfriend is a spy who has deadly assassins on his tail. She and her best friend, played by Kate McKinnon, set out to save the world. The question is not whether or not this movie is good or bad, but how do you follow Mission Impossible Fallout with a movie like this? I'm going to ask you that question first, Nestor.
Wow, that is a Mission Impossible. Well, let me tell you this. I mean, this is an action comedy, and the action is great. I think that the action is better than the comedy. This is something that reminds me of The Hitman's Bodyguard. So when it comes to the stunts, the shootouts, the fights, the chases, it's all good. The problem is that it is also a comedy, and it has to make you laugh. And when it comes to the comedy, I think that the comedy is all over the place. It is very inconsistent, talking about the quality, the tone. Obviously, Kate McKinnon, she's awesome, and she's gonna deliver the laughs, and you have fun with her. When she's not on screen, you have a problem. When there are other characters trying to generate humor, it's like the magic is not happening. So that is what I have a problem with in general with the movie. And it also reminds me of too many spy comedies. There are some gags that are the same gags from other spy comedies, like Spy with Melissa McCarthy.
Which is a much, much better movie.
It is a better film. So, I mean, you have that kind of uneven thing. The action works, the comedy, not that much. I think that the characters are not that easy to root for. They do some things that feel a little bit mean, So you are there, you just watch them running around and kind of trying to make things happen. Most of the time, I am mildly amused.
Mildly.
Not really annoyed. So that's something good, I guess.
Well, Jan and I sat right next to each other. Yeah. I couldn't even bear to look at you during this movie because I just could feel the biofeedback in the room. I think you and I feel the same way about this too.
Exactly.
What did you think, Jan?
No, for me, I didn't have fun. I had some fun, but not completely. I think Milo, she's good. She's a good actress. We have the female presence on screen, but the movie is not as good as I thought that it was. When trailer came out, I thought, oh my God, this is a good movie, a spy movie, a comedy with Kate, but no.
I thought about Melissa McCarthy in Spy, which was a much, much better film. Just sort of like a fish out of water, being thrown into like the world of espionage. And you've got two very good actresses who I have to say, Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon, are good together. I would say that that's the only saving grace for this film is the chemistry between them. But you have Mila Kunis, who I thought was terrific in Bad Moms. Really a revelation in the sense of just how great her comic timing was. And of course, Kate McKinnon, who is brilliant, and I say the word brilliant, on a week-to-week basis on Saturday Night Live over the last couple of years, with the way that show really just tapped into what everybody was really thinking about the way things have been going. But this material is beneath the both of them. I remember before the movie started, I think I leaned over to you and I said, "Oh, this is a 90-minute movie tops," and it was 2 hours long.
Exactly.
And
it was
felt
too
like
long.
it was right. It was too long.
Too
I mean, weren't you
long.
like looking at your watch?
Yeah,
I
like,
was.
oh no, I need to go. Is it not done yet? And then I was like, oh my God, what happened here? And I think for Kate, I think she can do so much more than that. I think she would sometimes misplace it. I don't know. I felt I didn't like it at all. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, like, what do you think about Kate McKinnon? I feel like, they're still waiting for the right movie to sort of weigh in on her gifts. What do you think?
I think that she's always the MVP in every single movie she's in. Ghostbusters, Rough Night. She always delivers.
Yeah, she does.
But I think that, I don't know, this character reminds me a little bit of Zach Galifianakis in the Hangover films. You have like a one-note character that is the cuckoo character, the weird character. She can do that, she can deliver that, but there is a limit to what an actor can bring to a poor script. I want to say that Sam Heughan, he's the co-protagonist of the series Outlander, and he does a good job. This is his first Hollywood
Feature,
studio film, and he does a good job. I wouldn't be surprised that in the future he's considered for James Bond.
Oh.
So let's keep an eye
You
on
never
that.
know. He does a really good job in Outlander, and he has a huge following. Everybody loves him, and everybody's waiting for the new series come up in November, and then. Oh my God.
You know what? Why not put it out there?
Yes,
Hashtag
exactly.
that, right?
Yeah. Hashtag. Sam.
Yes, the biggest scene of this movie, not enough Gillian Anderson. I cannot forget.
Yeah, it was great
Jillian.
seeing
I
her
cannot
in this
forgive.
movie. Yeah,
But with her, I think that she she repeat her performance as Johnny English. I think it's the same character.
Oh, that's
but
right,
now
Johnny
she's
English.
with a white dress, not in the black. I think she was a little different in just a tiny difference, but she reprises the
All right, if you're going to give this movie a letter grade, Nestor, what would it be?
I would go with a C+. Very forgettable, but it didn't leave any scars.
How about you, Jana?
I'll give it a C.
I'm going to give it a C-. I'm going lower than the both of you. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, again, first of all, we're now in August, and next to January, the worst time of the year is, I think, August. I mean, you got some good movies that come out once in a while, a lot of the independent films from Sundance open in August because people are tired of the blockbusters. And, sometimes you have surprise movies like The Sixth Sense. I think Collateral came out in August.
District 9.
The Bourne Ultimatum, which is a
District
great
9.
movie, came out in August. But they're few and far between. Usually August is kind of a dumping ground because people are taking their last minute vacations. So I say skip The Spy Who Dumped Me and go see The Spy Who Shagged Me. Instead, there's a blast from the past. Moving on to the next film. This is Disney's Christopher Robin. Directed by Marc Forster, who directed World War Z, Quantum of Solace, Stranger Than Fiction. The cast includes Ewan McGregor, Hayley Atwell, and Chris O'Dowd. And after growing up and losing his way, Christopher Robin's childhood friends, and you know who those friends are going to help him remember the loving and playful person he used to be. Okay, Jana, what did you think of Disney's Christopher Robin?
I love it. I love it. I feel very connected. I think it delivers. I think the CGI is great. I think the human actors like Ian and Hayley, they deliver really good. I enjoy a lot and brought me to my childhood because I grew up listening to those stories exactly, and I had a blast the night that I watched it.
Okay, how about you, Nestor?
I think that there are two different movies. When it comes to the human characters, we're talking about one movie, and when we talk about the animated characters, it's another thing. I think that, I don't know, this version of this tale is so classical that I feel that we have seen this story too many times in the past. We are following the man of the family that's too structured, works too much, cannot connect with his inner kid, cannot connect with his own kids. And I don't think that this story brings anything new to the table.
So even with the animatronics or the stuffed animals coming to life, that didn't do it for you. Because I agree with you, because what movie did this make me think of while I was watching it in terms of like having like a grown-up who lost his way? Hook. And I have to just add to that, I didn't like Hook, but I still, the concept of it, that you have this this magical character who suddenly just like gets caught up in domestic living their life, and they forget who they really are. So it did remind me of Hook, but I'm a little in between the two of you on this one, because I didn't love it, but I was charmed by it. I felt like it won me over as it went along. It's a sweet movie. It's a feel-good crowd pleaser in the Disney live-action sense that reminded me of the way it sort of takes a playbook from its own past. Remember Saving Mr. Banks?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's a far better film, but I still liked this movie enough. I mean, it's not the most ringing endorsement, but I thought it was sweet. It's maybe, I think maybe the biggest problem for me was Ewan McGregor as Christopher Robin. He was good, but maybe not perfectly cast. I think that was what did it for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. With the human characters, they are playing characters that are even more cartoonish than the cartoon characters. I mean, they have these lines of dialogue that are very, I don't know. For example, he comes to the house and talks to his kid and asks, have you done something useful today? And she replies, yes, Dad, I have been very efficient. And he's an efficiency manager. And the girl, she cannot have fun. And it's so much on your nose, and everything is so heavy-handed that I don't blame the actors, really.
Uh-huh.
When the animated creatures come to life, they rescue the character and they rescue the audience, because the movie gets way better on the second half. There is more action, more comedy, more heartwarming moments. So at the end, you leave the theater with this smile, but it could have been something better.
So it won you over. Ultimately, you thought it was okay.
Yes.
And you loved it.
I loved it.
You loved it from start to finish.
I loved from start to finish. The way that they set like the timeline, when he was a kid, Christopher Robin, and when he got married, go to the war and everything. I thought it was so well. I don't know. I love it because you have the book, the pages of the book, the way the timeline was, for me, was perfect.
Your letter grade.
Yeah. I would say A-.
A-. Okay, Nestor?
I go with a B-, and I think that Paddington 2 was better, and even Peter Rabbit was better.
Paddington 2.
Paddington
Those
2
movies are
is-
great. I mean,
They're
like, who the hell
awesome.
knew that the
Yeah.
Paddington movies would be so good? I think Paddington 2 has 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes or
Yes.
something like that. It's crazy.
Yes.
Christopher Robin won't have a 100%. I'm going to give it a B. I thought it was fine. I mean, kind of movie, if you want to know the truth, if you don't see it in theaters, maybe you wait for streaming. It's perfect for that. Moving on to the next movie. This one's really obscure, but talk about a movie that you absolutely have to see. This movie blew me away. Nico, 1988, written and directed by Susanna Nicciarelli. Yes.
Yes.
And it is starring Trini Durholm. She plays Nico, best known for playing with the Velvet Underground back in the 60s. The film traces the last year of her life while she tours and grapples with addictions and demons from her past. I was blown away by this movie. Nestor.
I think there is a very good movie that you have to be in the right mood to see it, because this is not a crowd pleaser.
No.
Okay? So it's a drama. It's a well-done drama. It reminds me a little bit of The Wrestler, in the sense that you're following this performer after the glory years have passed, and this person needs to reconnect with her or his kid, and they're dealing with the aftermath of their choices and their lifestyle.
Consequences.
And the consequences, the regret, the consequences on their body, on their minds, on their hearts. So I like the fact that this is not a caricature, it's a kind of a detailed portrait that is going for a complex main character that is not a likable character, and that is very challenging. And I think that that's when the actress and the direction start to shine, because otherwise you would be totally detached from what's going on. But she has that star power, that spark in her eyes that pulls you right into the thing, and you're living what's going on with her.
Okay, Jana.
Yeah, no, her presence on screen is like oh my God, I want to see her more and more and more. And I think the movie is like on the top of my, I didn't know much about her before, about Nico.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the movie, with her performance and everything, I was like, and then I went digging and then to know more about what happened and everything that was going on in her mind, and they show really great.
This movie is one of the very best movies of 2018. I mean, again, I know it's really obscure, and I agree with you. It is a movie that you have to be in the right frame of mind to see.
Yeah.
If you're in the mood for something, warm and cuddly, go see Christopher Robin.
Exactly.
But this is not a warm and cuddly movie. The brilliance of this performance, of Trinity Durham's performance, is she is like exactly what you said. The wrestler is a great analogy or a great comparison to make of someone whose glory days are behind them. Like whenever people talk to her, they just want to know about Velvet Underground. And she's like, what about my current stuff? I've talked about this stuff already. I'm sick of talking about the Velvet Underground. I'm still making music, and nobody wants to talk about that. Her crowds are a fraction of what they used to be, even though the music is great. And she is living with regret because of choices that she made. She is living with addiction. She is not a pleasant person.
No.
She's bitter. She's burned out.
Bad mom.
And what?
A bad mom.
And a bad mom. But you sympathize. You still feel bad for her. You don't. To be able to portray all those qualities of a character and still sympathize with the character and root for that person is a testament to this amazing performance. It's superbly written and directed. I think a movie that this is where a show like this really makes a difference, because you can get the word out about Nico 1988, and so people will take the time to see it. I've had a couple times on the show where I brought up a film or I suggested we review a movie, and then people say to me, I didn't even know that, I never even heard of this movie. Well, you're hearing about Nico 1988
Yes,
now. I give this movie an A all the way.
Yeah, it's
Jana.
an A plus plus plus.
Yeah, it really is, right?
Yes.
For you?
I give it a B+. I think that you are going to enjoy it, especially if you like music biopics. This is a movie for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. And it's a good music biopic because it's not the whole life. It's a portion of their life. And sometimes that's the way to go, because otherwise it gets too episodic.
Yeah, you
in
get
this
too
way,
lost.
you really feel how she just battled. I mean, she is a war-weary musician, and she is not holding anything back. It is a magnetic performance. Depressing, but still a great movie.
it's good.
A+ all the way. Okay, well, if you missed this movie in theaters, and I'm guessing a lot of people probably did because it only made $9.2 million domestically. It deserved way, way, way better. The movie is called Tully, directed by Jason Reitman, written by Oscar-winning screenwriter Diablo Cody. They reteamed after Young Adult. Of course, they did Juno, which is what she won the Oscar for. It was nominated for Best Picture as well. Cast includes Charlize Theron, Mackenzie Davis, Ron Livingston. Charlize Theron plays Marlo, a miserable, exhausted mother of three who hires Tully, played by Mackenzie Davis, as a night nanny to help her out. I really love this movie, and I feel it did not get the love that it deserved. Jana.
Yeah, I love the movie, and and as a mom, I can really relate to what she was talking, like the way that the things that she was going through, even during the pregnancy and then after pregnancy. I think Charlize got portrayed really good, and the way the script was written, I think was awesome. I was amazed. I watched it together with my husband, and then he told me, "Oh my God, I'm seeing you over there," even though we just have one kid.
Wow.
Yes, and then I was like, yeah, and of course there's some stuff that we don't go that deep, but it's incredible.
Wait till you have your second.
Really love it.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nestor.
I'm not a mom, but I really connected with the movie. I'm talking about empathy machines, I mean, the movie puts you in her place, in Marlo's place, and you feel what she's feeling. And I really love the fact that you rarely see a mother that is not celebrating the fact that she's having a kid And usually when you see that, it's always in a negative light. It's like, oh, she's evil or something. And the movie not only says, you know what, it is okay to feel this, let's explore what's going on with her, but it also gives you the opportunity to empathize with this situation without judging the person. I don't think that the movie judges anybody, and it's not judging lifestyle choices, and it's exploring the question of what is the perfect way to be happy nowadays. Is it still the only way to have two people coming together and having a kid and having a little dog or something? Or maybe we're in a place where we can start rethinking and embracing other options.
You know, the other thing about this movie too is it is, you know, obviously I'm not a mother either, but I've never seen a depiction of motherhood, of parenthood on the big screen that was so raw and honest and revealing and just not sugarcoated in any way, shape, or form. And Charlize just was magnificent in this role.
Yeah.
I would go so far as to say it was her best performance since winning the Academy Award for Monster, which came out in 2003. And she's been doing such great work lately. I mean, the voiceover work on Cuba and the Two Strings, which was a beautiful, amazing film.
Yeah.
But Charlize Theron, she really lets it all hang out in terms of like letting herself go for the role. You know, she's done that before, obviously, with Monster, but I just was mesmerized by her performance and also the connection that she has with Mackenzie Davis, who plays the night nanny, and the chemistry, the connection that they have, and the way that her presence, that Tully's presence, sort of elevates her and the movie. And, you know, without giving anything away, a great plot twist. If you have not seen this movie...
but that I can say that. I think the movie shows like she's trying to discover herself again. That was the real, like, I don't know, that's what happened to me, you know what I mean? That's why I think it's so real. The movie is so, like, so I can relate a lot.
I'm like you, I related to it too.
Yeah, and it's a great balance between the profound and the mundane, you know? I think that Diablo Cody did a fantastic job with the script and also injecting some humor into it. Yes, it is kind of acid or dark humor, but the movie never gets too heavy. Never goes to that territory when you start like feeling depressed or anything. And again, the balance. You have Marlon, you have Tully, two ways of seeing life from a different perspective, you know? From someone that is still young and wide-eyed and expecting the best, and the other one that has more experience and is kind of trying to reconnect with that excitement in life. So I think that is a very profound film that invites people to reflect on their own lives, but it also invites to, it's a wake-up call to empathize and to really be present with the people that is sharing the life with you. It's not enough to be under the same roof. Right. It's not enough to say good morning, goodbye, and give you a kiss on
you need to get involved.
Yes, you need to be there all the time, to be present all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, just the, you know, Jason Reitman and Diablo Cody, I mean, this is now their third movie together. And I think Jason Reitman makes great movies. I mean, you know, whether it's Thank You for Smoking and Juno, and my favorite of his is Up in the Air. But I still think that even though that was his commercial peak, in terms of just, you know, box office. I still think that he is a great director. He takes chances. You know, I think he's doing the upcoming film, The Frontrunner, with Hugh Jackman as Gary Hart. That's going to be really interesting. But I give this movie an A-. What did you think?
Yeah, A-.
A-.
I go with an A, one of the best so far.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
It is. So it's now on Blu-ray. It's also on streaming, you know, if I want to like check it out on iTunes. And I'm just curious, you know, like what made you become a film critic? Like, what was the thing? Did you just like fall into it, or was it something that you set out to do? And what was the first movie you ever reviewed?
Okay, for me, this movie stuff happened like so. Suddenly I was doing that. I was producing a show, and then I started like getting interviews and then watching more and more movies. And then my first movie that I reviewed was like, oh my God, was back in 2006, B-movie.
B movie?
Yes.
With Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes.
Really? That was your
Yes.
first? Oh, you
Yes.
poor thing.
Yes.
No, it was okay.
Well, it was work, you know.
Yeah, it was work.
You gotta do it.
How about you?
Well, I mean, long story short, I love movies. You know, I was always a kid in the family that went to the video store to pick the VHS of the week or
VHS.
something. So I love talking about movies. I love thinking about movies. And I think that we sometimes can bring a different perspective to some films, you know. So I love doing it, and I love exploring all the different corners of this form of art that, to me, is the most powerful one.
I agree.
know?
I agree.
So,
What was your first review?
First movie. That's a tough question. You have prepared me for this. I don't remember. I'm gonna go with The Raid, the first Raid. It's a great action film.
Oh, The Raid.
And I think that's a movie
that's a
that
good
I
movie.
reviewed that in like, I don't know, 30 minutes. It was so easy because it was so clear and so powerful.
My first review, I've been a movie person my entire life, and it wasn't until the late '90s when the internet was starting to really become the thing, and the internet, obviously, as we now know, it gave a voice, it gave a medium for a lot of film people to express themselves where they didn't before. So I started my own website in '99. My first review was Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh my
So,
God.
okay, I love that movie. It's a very divisive film, and it's going to be 20 years old next summer. And I think someone's writing a book about the making of that movie, which I can't wait. But yeah, Eyes Wide Shut was my first film. Now, where can people find you on Twitter? What's your handle?
Twitter on Nestor Cine.
Nestor Cine. That's
Yes.
C-I-N-E.
Correct.
Correct. And how about you?
And mine is Jana on camera.
Jana on camera. How easy is that?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Well, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Movie Mantz. And please be sure to share, that includes you, share the show. And tell them to share the show, share the video, share the podcast, which is on Podcast One. If you don't want to watch it, you can listen to it. Because, even though there is room for everyone in the world of film criticism, shows like this are still, I would say, an endangered species,
Yeah.
So the way to get the word out that the show is still viable and can be done in an informative and fun way is to spread the word. So please spread it. Please let us know what you thought of Movie Review Talk. Hit me up on Twitter at Movie Mantz. Hashtag Movie Review Talk, and make sure you also tag Collider Video. Next week on Movie Review Talk, it is, or is it, Spike Lee's best movie since Do the Right Thing. I'm talking about Black Klansman. Can't wait to review that. Until then, here's looking at you, kid.
Hey everybody, Mark Ellis here. Thanks for watching this episode. You want to watch more? Then click up here, or you can click right here for more great content from Collider. If you haven't subscribed to Collider Video, do so right now and share this vid with your friends. Thanks for watching.